This thing that's kind of blocking our view is the advanced resistive exercise device, and it's we put it together recently and we're still checking it out. It still needs to be calibrated, but once it gets calibrated we'll be exercising here every day. And it's big. This is a really huge device, but it also can give twice as much chances to work out. I think most people would say that the IRED, the interim resistive exercise device, you can maybe go up to 200 or 300 pounds. This one has the potential to go up to 600 pounds. So you can get much bigger loads. It works by using a vacuum system, so you can see these two big vacuum canisters right up here. And you can see as I float backwards in the node 1 here, you can see how big that ARED is and how much room it takes up. And this is its stowed configuration. On the floor we have, and we're trying to change this because I don't think this is the best place, but everything in the space station world needs to be negotiated, and that's okay. We're not in a hurry, even though we're going fast. This is our pond, or our wall of water that's down here. We have different kinds of water, and these are called contingency water containers, CWCs. And you can see different kinds. There's water that you can drink, and water that you can use for other things like flush water or generating oxygen. Now here's the airlock. As we go, the Quest airlock. I'll turn on some lights as we get in there, and usually we don't go in here every day. We do try to keep it fairly clean, and I'm in the middle of doing an inventory for the 15A crew as they come up here. The airlock is one of the few USOS, American style modules that doesn't have a single light switch. You have to turn on every light as you need. But from here, many EVAs, extravehicular activity spacewalks, have been conducted. There's in the back of this room, this crew lock is a hatch that goes outside into space. So you can see that hatch right there. In the meantime, we're kind of storing EVA related things here. You can see this is a safer, which is a kind of a jet backpack that we wear on the outside of our spacesuits in case we get separated from the spaceship. We can fly our way back in. Safer's pretty neat. The Russian spacesuits, which are many good things about them, but they don't have a safer. So this is all of our stuff as we're getting ready for STS-119. You can see already starting a tool bag. Usually, again, everything's spread out more than it usually is, but we're putting together mini workstations for Swanee and Ricky and Joe as they get ready to go outside. So that's what the airlock looks like at the moment. Now, Node 1, originally brought up on STS-88, Node 1 is getting kind of crowded, and but there's also a lot of good places for storage. Here's our toolbox, one of my favorite places to go every day, and I have to go every day to the toolbox. We have a 0G storage rack. The kind of things we have in here are computer parts. Usually we have some lithium hydroxide canisters that the shuttle leaves on here in case we have a shuttle contingency. We throw away all of our empty food containers in here, and as we float up on the ceiling, we have a lot of places where we keep our office kind of things, paper, pens, things like that, as well as tools and scope meters and things like that. I remember being at Capcom on STS-96 when I first saw these signs. That's pretty amazing. Wireless access point. That's number 1. We have 3 total. This is the pressurized mating adapter, PMA. And inside, this is where we keep all of our clothes. Not all of our clothes, because we got a lot of clothes, but this is a lot of our clothes, as well as other soft goods like hygiene items, towels, wipes, shaving cream, shampoo, things like that. and we're floating into the Russian side of things. First and foremost, we are now in the pressurized adapter part of the functional cargo block. We call it the GA, and it's also a docking port down below. As you carefully look down below, you can see the hatches, and inside that what you can see in front of us is the docking mechanism for the Soyuz. The Soyuz is our launch vehicle. Yuri and I and Richard Garriott launched here. It's also our landing vehicle. Yuri and I are going to be landing in the Soyuz, along with Charles Simeoni. Right now, it's our lifeboat in case anything goes wrong. So we have our lifeboat kind of things in here. Our spacesuits are ready. We still have a little bit of unpacking to do, but you can see things are really crowded in the FGB. That we thought it's best to leave it in the Soyuz, since we still have about 2 months before we go home. 2.5 months actually. So this is the living compartment, the BO, and it's a bit cramped in here. And we'll stop in the BO on our way up, and we'll just keep diving down in here. And we'll get into our landing module called the ESA, and this is the place where we sit for launch and landing. And this is this Yuri's seat right here. My seat is right over there, and we'll sneak down in a little bit more, but it's really cramped. And Sandy's seat is right over here. Okay, this is inside the ESA, and you can see the Neptune panel. It's a glass cockpit, which is why this is the biggest feature between the new Soyuz TM-A, it's relatively new, and the old Soyuz TM. The A stands for anthropometric, and means also the panel got smaller, glass cockpit, so taller people could fit inside. There's a window, that's my seat over there, our flight data file, our checklist ready for us, and you can hear a fan running because we're always keeping ventilation to it. So come on up. It's very compact, but not a lot of room. Makes it very efficient. Habitation module. We stay for a couple of days while after launch and before we dock to the space station. And this is one of our main containers where we have our food and everything like that. Little control panel, vacuum gauge, things like that. So this is where we stayed for a couple of days, 2 days after launch. We docked. Got inside the huge, very big international space station.